Welcome everybody. Glad to have everybody here. The day after the autumn equinox, the energies are crazy. But I hope everybody had a great day. Gonna have another amazing show for you tonight. Hello from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Love and light to everyone. Susie, is that Nanette? Lions. Hello, others from Pennsylvania.
We'll have to ask Nanette whether she's a Steelers or an Eagles fan.
Oh, well, yeah. Hope everybody had an amazing day. We're going to get into this real quick. I'm reading the chat. Sorry, I got caught up. We had an amazing chat this morning. We posted that on Rumble. You can check that out. If you're on Rumble right now, if you look below in the descriptions, you have the links to the chat. Just click that link below. Come and join us. Unmute the mic and let's get the party started. So we'd like to open dialogue with everyone, all different backgrounds, different beliefs, different cultures, you name it. So it's always an enjoyable. You never know what you're going to get first thing in the morning, but that's what makes it amazing. But let's go ahead and get this party started. What are we going to start with tonight?
Well, why don't you roll us in with the Truth Train 88 song? Get us kicked off. You got that one queued up, Sheepdog?
See if this works. Let's get something queued up here. No pun intended, queued up.
Ha ha.
It's a Delta. Turn that down.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and kick it off. Here we go, Sheepdog. I found it right here. I'll go ahead and queue up the Truth Train.
All right.
Truth Train 88. This ain't no ordinary ride. We roll with legacy, love, and fire in our bones. Let's go. Truth Train 88. This ain't no ordinary ride. We roll with legacy, love, and fire in our bones. Let's go. Let's go. Boots on the ground, banjo in my hand. Truth train rolling through this promised land. Chief Mike lit the torch, now Sheepdog lead. Matriarch's grace, yeah, that's all we need. Fiddle crying like a spirit in the wind. Bass thumping like the truth setting in. We don't follow trends, we follow the flame. Truth Train 88, remember the name. Truth Train 88, rolling through the night, guided by the chief. We're rising to the light with open wide, Gadoogie in motion, love as a guide. GVUE, we sing to the sky. Holy hill is deep, joy never dies. Red cardinal flying, wings in the breeze. Banjo strumming like a prayer on his knees. You carry the promise, you carry the flame. In our rising tribe, we call your name. Wide old matriarch, for your sacred way. Your generosity lights our day. Your grace is the fire in our tribal dream. Your love flows strong in every stream. Trail, healing frequencies rise like steam. True Train 88, this ain't no dream. True Train 88, we ride with the flame. True Train 88, we rise in the name. Goes on in the power of love. We are never gone.
Hey, hey, hey. Good evening, everybody.
There we go. There we go. Feel like you just walked into the party and then nobody had music playing. It was just quiet.
And every time I hear that song, I think I'm down there either when they hit that banjo, I'm down to Cajun country, I'm down in South Alabama.
The only thing that song is missing is a video full of airboats.
And some crocodiles. But no, we're just to recap, we're live on Facebook, we're live on Gandalf's Rumble, Roar Room. Did I miss anything, Sheepdog? YouTube.
Mars, live from Mars.
Yep. Everybody hit the like button, share it out. How's everybody's week been going so far? I know it's just Taco Tuesday, but we are moving quickly through the week.
TT is 2020, right? Right, that's Taco Tuesday. We went over this in the chat the other morning, the G codes, breaking down the letters and the Mario Luigi Mangione, the L and L, being a 33. What's that, deep dog? Well, because L is the 12th letter.
Hey, that's the first time I ever heard a Texan say Mangione.
I was hoping that was his name. Yeah, Mangione. Well, it's like a pizza joint, right? Mangione. Yeah, Italian. With the,
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know nothing about that. So they put the fences up back in DC. I mean, I don't know.
Again,
Again,
like what? It's time
so the fences are
to
going
go
back
up
in
and go
DC,
down. Go up and go down.
according to boots on the ground. That type of fencing is what typically used during times of unrest
said they can
or
hardly-
major national security events.
Yeah.
What?
I can't hardly hear you. They said,
Oh, let me turn it up.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of low.
Let me turn it up. Should be good. Here we go.
There, that's better.
Hey,
Or at least on my side.
sounds good now.
There
How
you
about
go. Ooh, now you coming in hot. There you go.
That's much better. Yeah.
check? Check. Oh, wait, I'm at the end of the hall. Hold on, I'll be down in a minute.
He went down to the Roar room to pick up some beverages.
Yeah, 5x5 now. Yep.
Yep.
We can get the share screen. If you can add me to the stage real quick.
Gotcha. You're there.
Okay. Yeah, so this is Penguin 6. I don't know if anybody can see the picture. Huh. It's just showing. You go to share screen here, different. There we go. Why is it coming up over here? Hold on 1 second. Go to screen 2. Well, let's go to screen 1. That's what it is. Sorry. All right, here we go. Media viewer. All right, you have me? Real quick. There we
You're
go. All right.
there.
Yeah, this is Penguin 6, boots on the ground. This type of fencing is what typically is used during times of unrest or major national security events. Also, we had Trump in New York meeting with the UN, right? He gave he roasted them at the speech. Also talked about some other things with AI and bio. He talked about, let me pull this up real quick. Biological weapons convention as well. I got that clip.
And Tylenol.
Oh, and Tylenol is now more
Stop.
dangerous than AIDS.
Man, I better get off the Tylenol, man. I'm addicted.
He said if you have a fever, don't take Tylenol. Go to the doctor.
Why? That's worse than Tylenol.
That's what he said. Not kidding.
Oh, that's me. I shouldn't be looking at that. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to.
That's Charlie Kirk's wife.
Gaslighting ends
Stop.
here. It's what? Yeah.
Yeah, that's her. That's
What's that?
I was about to say, stop putting pictures of your wife out on the screen.
No, I wouldn't be doing that. So gaslighting ends here, guys. It's not the Tylenol. You're not to blame, mamas. We believe you. We know what it is. But that's what big pharma, big money does to you, right?
Yes.
Trump took $100 million from big pharma.
They all took money.
They all took money. So this is why you're getting this Tylenol thing, but there's more to this, I'm sure. Anyways, but to all the women that have autistic children, this has been fighting this fight for years, and then to come out and you've got a big announcement at the Charlie Kirk Memorial that you're going to make it about autism, and then you come out and say it's the Tylenol that you give them when after they're born, in between, or when they're having fevers or stuff like that. You get the liquid Tylenol.
Well, he kind of said it weird. He said,
Yeah,
it's the liquids.
the liquids.
You need to space them out, like 2, 4, 8
Yeah,
years.
he was talking about the vaccines having them, instead of stopping them, right, or actually looking into them, seeing that they're actually causing any issues with our children long term. Instead of doing that, he's telling you to space out the vaccines.
Yeah.
Don't get them all at once.
From years.
Right.
Space them out years apart.
But I still don't think that's, that's, I guess, I mean.
I think he was telling you, but not telling you.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about Tylenol and threw that in there. But he called them the liquids.
What else? Okay. Apparently the ratings were really good. 100 million plus people watched. I think half of those people were just looking to see what the hell was going on. The other half, so the numbers don't reflect anything at all. You had Democrats and Republicans watching it. I mean, it was left and right watching it. Everybody was watching it. It was like the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
That was like Super Bowl Sunday, and 100 million views. But there's 7 billion people on the planet, so there's still some hope. It's only 100 million worldwide. I don't know what the ratings are, but it was definitely a huge ratings thing. It's all about ratings with Trump, right? King of ratings. So that's how they're able to keep everybody entertained. If they didn't have good actors, it wouldn't be a good movie, right?
That's right.
All right. Not every one of them's good, but actor or actresses, but some of them you can pretty much
Well,
tell.
speaking of actors and actresses, there was a bunch of them today going on in Congress. They had, don't know if anybody caught it again. I talked a little bit that pre-show. There's a couple of dozen parents that have lost children due to suicide based on Chat GPT, encouraging them to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Horrible.
That's the kind of battle we're in, dude. Like the spiritual warfare. They're even doing that.
And I'm telling you,
Yeah, some of them are straightforward. Some of these demonic things are just straightforward, right? And some of them subtly do it, make those kind of suggestions, right? But yeah, you're going to have an uptick in suicide rates going up as well. I know we had an issue in the military with the veterans, 22 a day. Again, is that number accurate? I don't know. It could be just another master builder number, com.
we'll tell you from a parent that has active duty children, including GAN, active duty children in the military, and nephews and nieces that are active duty. It is a very high concern with the military, and that they are over enforcing being a wingman and watching your brothers. Brothers, sisters. Sheepdog knows. He was active duty. He knows.
Yeah. We had issues with suicide and our active duty as well,
Yep.
Some come back and they lose their wife, everything, and it's not, and just they don't know how to cope. And next thing you know, they find them in the shed in the backyard on the military housing.
Yep.
Yeah, so
So
it's
everybody watch out for everybody else. Everybody got to check on each other.
yeah. So with that being said, I've had the training in the military to recognize that in people and to see all the warning signs. So, even doing this work here, I have to be very mindful of people's mental health moving forward and throughout this, even my own, right? So it's very important that we not, allow the things taking place on TV and in the world dictate our happiness and steal our joy. And if you're in depression or anxiety and you're going through this process, please don't let that be the only solution. Self-inflicting. Uh, you have a purpose. You just got to wake up to it. It's just a spiritual issue that needs to be taken care of. And instead of you just being labeled as depression, anxiety, or whatever, and then given medication, that's what makes it worse. So with all these, just, the energies coming in that could conflict with the medications, or maybe if you're an addicted to pain pills or some other kind of narcotics, right? That could have an effect on your mindset going through these portals and stuff like that, and this time in history. So it's important to, let's people are going through those mental health crises. You got to learn how to handle it without calling in a bunch of 911 and all that with guns ablazing. I've seen too many people, even an autistic kid, get gunned down in his own yard. So be very careful when you're doing that. Um, I would recommend having a plan if you have somebody that could be going through that in their life, because we all have that one or two in our families. But just have a plan, and as long as they're not hurting you and they're just having a
Yeah,
breakdown.
most time when they're having a breakdown is when they're needing attention. Most suicides they don't tell you.
Yeah, they
just
don't do it. They just do it. That's
That's the bad part.
Yep.
There's
you have to pay
there's
attention
usually
to the
no warning
clues.
signs.
The sudden giving away of your items would be one thing when they start saying, giving away their stuff
Right.
is one of sign that we were taught to, pay attention to. Um, Breakups, divorces,
They
stuff like that.
stop doing things that make them happy. They just kind of isolate themselves. Pay attention.
Isolation, yes.
It doesn't help that most of us go to the alcohol, right? Hit the bar, going through things. That's what military guys, that was one of our biggest struggles. We lost more people out on a night of fun, getting stabbed at bars and stuff like that. It's just, average every day. Just because you're in the military doesn't mean that you're in this little protective box and you don't go through things like
Nope.
everybody struggle when everything's inflated and you lose your house too, just like everybody else. It doesn't matter. I've been in that situation. With that.
You know the difference between a regular friend group and especially war-serving veteran groups. The difference is that all your friends are killers, and
Yeah.
and people make different levels of jokes, sarcasm among especially teams that serve together. They're some of the most vile, disgusting jokes I've ever heard are the funniest in that group because that's everybody laughs at the horror. So when a veteran turns to despair, that's really the one you got to watch for, and you just need to spend time with them. Just stay on their shoulder. It's important.
So here we have Trump announces an AI verification system at the United Nations. Do you see what?
He was at the summit today, right?
Yeah, right here. So this is in New York, right? The capital of the UN is in New York.
In New York.
All right. So here we go with this, and that's also where he talked about the Biological Weapons Convention.
When you meet,
Let me see if I got General Flynn saying there is no Palestinian state. I don't know what he's talking about right there, but apparently he's got a different map than I got.
Right.
So people were talking about the mask coming off. So it's very important that we don't get sucked back into these old systems. It's very important that we don't get sucked back in emotionally, or pick a team. Don't you, more now than ever, need to be neutral. And that's not cowardice. That's just not being used by either side. Not allowing yourself to be used by either side. So when Mike talked about going center, it was more than just a spiritual thing, right? It's pretty much with everything, right?
Yes.
Because that's where you measure light from, the center out. So you return back to that light within that we have, and let's look back at what we've been taught over the years. Let's take another look at the scriptures. Let's take another look at. Let's actually dig even deeper. Let's look at other books that they tell us. We shouldn't be reading, like uh, the Apocrypha, the Nag Hammadi, different books like that. They have all the stuff that's pulled out that would help along this process and understanding really the true how far we've fallen and how they deceived us. So go back with your new eyes and your new ears, and let's take a look at re-examine the things, and let's see what's revealed to us as we walk through this valley of the shadow of death, fearing no evil, right? So that's our sword, right? And it's a tool, and it served its purpose. But I'm thinking there's something else there for you if you go back and just take another look at the script. Just go revisit everything. Take another look. Don't just discredit something because it's always been this way, or this is how we were raised and this is what my daddy taught me. I was taught some stuff that, you know, probably wasn't the best. So it's okay to change. It's okay to get uncomfortable, and it's okay to um, just take another look. And then that way it's not so hard, and you're not arguing with the people that's trying to wake you up, or maybe bring more information to the table in order to make a better decision, right? I mean, you want the whole book. You don't just want a quarter, right? You And it doesn't even have to be a book. You want the whole spirit, right? You don't just want a little bit,
That's right.
right? So just re-examine ourselves, re-examine what we were taught. Let's figure out how we got here. Let's not uh, disrespect each other or not listen to someone else's viewpoint because they're still in the matrix or whatever you want to say. So there's still more division, and um, so some people,
So that's it's an interesting analogy, a book analogy, because some people, they say, "Oh, I know that book," and you come back and say, "Well, I have some new chapters for you," and there's a lot of frustration because they have to go relearn something that they were positive about, and this can be anything from the truth about the mainstream media in the Smith-Mundt Act. That's a big one. The truth about Western medicine in the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. That's a big one. We heard part of that today. And many of us are looking for information from an AI. Yeah, I got an echo. Someone's got a mic on.
Oh, that's me.
So my point is that having to go relearn something that you were positive about, that is, what's that word? Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
And the dissonance is oh, I was positive that's what that was. I was 100% positive, and I know what, because my father told me and his father told him. But what's happening during this migration into our more spiritual age, a higher frequency lifestyle, is that you really have to question everything. And the anger that leads to depression and suicide and bad decision making and all of those things, if you can get yourself through that anger process and find a joy in the center of it, that's really the key to this. There's a couple of things in your feed, Facebook feed, Sheepdog. There's one that I was looking for, I couldn't find, but I found this one. This is really pertinent. Let me grab this. Come on, baby. There you go. Before can I kick your screen there for a second, Sheep? I guess yours I cannot share. No, let's do this. So if you've never been to the Sheepdog's Facebook feed, he's really good at this stuff. you do a lot more posting than I do. I just love the amount of research that the team does here. So this is the true order versus a false order, and this really falls into what we're talking about. Are you a sovereign or are you a false sovereign? Are you the true order of freedom, or is it a false order of freedom? And this is an excellent list of different components. Whether or not you're truly living a sovereign lifestyle, are you living by a moral truth? Are you respecting the rights and laws of that moral truth? Right? Are you handling your chaos at the right level? Are you identifying the evil in your life and eradicating that from the process? Because this is a constant winnowing. Our graphic here is very much a matrix engagement, but this is your fingers to your own head. It's up to all of us individually to make our own decisions to stand in this higher moral truth, and challenging people surrounding their current moral truth is that's what leads to consternation and arguing and fighting and all sorts of stuff. So I just think it's important that we are able to recognize in our own processes where maybe we need to change, and that change starts with us, and that's your own higher frequency choice. And getting sucked into the news narrative of the day is counterproductive to that, in my opinion.
All right. So here we have it. There isn't one person in Maha who would fall for the idea that Tylenol is the primary cause of autism. It's childhood vaccines. We all know it.
What vaccines you mean?
Oh, the vaccine. Water.
Vaccines.
Maxine Watch the Water. Yeah. Let me go to a different screen here.
That was a good use of the word Maxine there, Sheepdog. I just want to commend you on that one.
Maxine
I got
Water.
that from
Yep.
Sierra. When she was talking about the blood, that's what she was calling it, Maxine's. I thought that was
All right.
brilliant.
Here we go. What do you think about this, Gandalf? The Secret Service foils a plot to cripple the New York City cell network, threatened the UN General Assembly. Is that a headline?
I saw it. I saw
that.
it.
Let me hit me on the screen real quick. Let's talk about it. Yeah, it's silly. You foil this plot, right? Okay. Anyways, Secret Service foils a massive plot.
The only thing this is missing. The only thing this is missing is a full episode of Mr. Robot on the reruns. I mean, if anybody ever watched that TV show, this is ludicrous from a technical standpoint. The cell phone networks are not that vulnerable. They don't comply with denial of service engagements. The SIM cards would be immediately disallowed for traffic as part of a bot scam that deny that. Yes, this is ludicrous, technically speaking.
Yeah, check this out.
We are making this announcement as a matter of public interest given timing, amount, and concentration of material recovered during a recent Secret Service Protective Intelligence investigation. Following multiple telecommunications-related imminent threats directed towards senior U.S. government officials this spring, the U.S. Secret Service began a protective intelligence investigation to determine the extent and impact these threats could have on protective operations. This was a difficult and complex effort to identify the source of these fraudulent calls and the impact on the Secret Service protective mission. During this period, we leveraged technical assistance and support of federal partners, including Homeland Security Investigations, the Department of Justice, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. We also received phenomenal support from our state and local law enforcement partners, to include the NYPD. The investigation led us to the New York tri-state area, where investigators discovered tens of thousands of
laptop, Biden's laptop, Hunter's laptop. Oh no, that's not it. Sorry.
located and networked cellular devices capable of carrying out nefarious telecommunications attacks. These devices allowed anonymous encrypted communications between potential threat actors and criminal enterprises, enabling criminal organizations to operate undetected. This network had the potential to disable cell phone towers and essentially shut down the cellular network in New York City. These devices were concentrated within 35 miles of the global meeting of the United Nations General Assembly. Now,
Guys, I promise you this is not Clark Kent with Oakley's on.
Does look like him, Superman.
That's Agent Smith.
This is not Clark
They
Kent.
did just remake Superman again, though. They just made like the 11 millionth version of Superman because they can't make any new movies. They can't.
This is central casting right here, man. This got to be.
Oh yeah.
Name and get his We need to check that.
Bird calls it though. Those are his "you better believe me" classes.
These are, dude. I got the money for Oakley frames, homie,
I know, right?
with a camera in the middle.
underway in New York City. Given the timing, location, and proximity and potential for significant disruptions to the New York telecom system, we moved quickly to disrupt this network. To be clear, these recovered devices no longer pose a threat to the New York tri-state area. We will continue working towards identifying those responsible and their intent, including whether their plan was to disrupt the UN General Assembly and communications of government and emergency personnel during the official visit of world leaders in and around New York City. Forensic examinations of the equivalent of 100,000 cell phones worth of data is underway. Early analysis indicates cellular communications between foreign actors and individuals that are known to federal law enforcement. Given the sensitivity and complexity of this investigation, investigation, we are not able to go into specifics at this time. This is an open and active investigation, and we have no arrest to announce today. Rather, this announcement is designed to safeguard critical infrastructure and responsibly provide the public what we can at this time. The Secret Service will continue to run down all leads until we fully understand the intent of the operation and identify those responsible.
That's another CK. Clark Kent.
My question is what was that whole video AI generated?
Yes.
Are you questioning stuff like that? Don't just accept it for real.
You know,
See,
I am Durandal.
you know, that's a good way to approach it. Really, it is. But here's the massive haul. It's a wall of SIM boxes at the location where they were seized by the agency. So it's a bunch of SIM cards. Maybe they were on Facebook posting like crazy, or X. They got 50,000 accounts, and they're running because they did. You see what I'm saying? Because they can actually manipulate. They can alter elections, right? With 100,000 different SIM cards or 100,000 different phones, you can get out a lot of information in the propagandist world, right?
Oh yeah.
You still have to register. You still have to register the devices in the network in such a way that they can actually get to mission, which is to engage with the telecommunications infrastructure. And you have that's not something that you can just roll up and throw in a bunch of racks and plug into a phone line. That there's no way that's a. So who's the boost guy that sold all of those? I mean, and if you were really going to do it, all you would do is 3D print a bunch of those sets. I don't know. It stinks like 3-day-old guests and fish. You know, it's a little rank.
It doesn't make any sense, does it? Says Clark Kent. Matt McCool is his name. MM33. Master.
It's Eminem.
Eminem. There's Eminem. Here you go. We ain't talking about the chocolate filled ones either.
Go on, Slim Shady, stand up.
He's fixing to go in the damn telephone booth and change here in a minute and fly off. Here's some more of the setup. I don't know if there's anybody that knows what this is. Oh, yeah.
So that's a router. That's an edge router. The cable that's coming in the back, that's the primary internet connection. And there's that all this marking on the top is port identification for what's happening on the front. And these are the whatever it is that they have plugged in. It's a solid state device. It might have a fan in the side, but it's a 1U device. It's designed to go in a rack. And that is a router. So that you would need to route that is the right device. But wherever this goes in, and this over here in the top, the black thing with the 8 wires going into it, that's a communications device. And these are low power. That's a very small power connection to be driving this many engagements. You need more power to go to that box. If you walk into a real rack room that has 17 or 18 of these in a rack, it sounds like an airplane engine because there's so much heat dissipation. And these are in the sun? No.
Yeah. Maybe they laid them all out to take a picture of it, but why wouldn't they just take a picture of it where it was set up? Like you said, there's a sliding glass door right there to the right in front of it, and this is laid out, set up. There's too much work put in. You see how everything's neatly rolled, and it's like a professional.
Man, that looks like somebody's floor of their apartment.
Yeah. Well, they had to hurry up and get in there and take this picture so they can send it to the newspaper. I guess I don't know. Who knows? But
I don't know. I want to do a shadow line analysis and see whether or not that's also an AI picture, because that shadow analysis would show whether or not it was real. But I don't know. It's not worth that.
Oh, there
much.
we go. Now we're getting serious.
Is this better? Looks like a porcupine desk.
That looks like
Look
I
like
don't.
something
So
you
those
laid
are
on.
all wireless antennas, I assume.
Yep.
There would be so much wavelength disruption in that network, nothing would work. That
Right.
wireless is a layer 2 enabled network. It's a go and wait network. Things don't happen simultaneously. So that many antennas in one room, it'd be like trying to listen to 6 teenage girls talk about what ice cream flavor they wanted at the same time. Nothing would make any sense. It's too much traffic.
That's good.
Doesn't pass the test.
So this is just for photo op, right?
Yeah, maybe to get people to
Here,
ask
look.
some questions like,
This is probably the FBI office. Just take a picture of my office. Wow.
that's too weird looking.
So what we're saying here is this could be something much on down the line that can be used. This is never just kind of reporting coming from the Secret Service means some kind of maybe elevated terror threat or some kind of thing that they're fixing to bring about to get us into other
Maybe
issues
they're
that we
saying
don't.
the Wi-Fi is going to go out.
A blackout, you never know. Like,
Well, because look, when those are all
or
bunched
when your
up like
phone
that,
gets turned off, or everything gets turned off, they're going to blame it on some group.
it would interfere with interception, right? With all them together like that. So
Yeah. So something coming. This is just a they're telling you something here, basically. We'll soon find out in a future psyop. Tune in to next week's psyop.
The mental abuse will continue until morale improves.
For going through this, we deserve better psyops, actually.
Can I get a side of? Can you king size the psyop at least?
Right.
Like I want it to be so good that I think it's real.
Exactly.
Can I get my psyop fries in tallow? Can I get the tallow psyop fries instead of the vegetable oil psyop fries, please?
But going back to that picture, Dan, of those routers and the Wi-Fi antennas, you know that they could come up with a lot better picture than this garbage right here, though.
Birdlove, we're paying
Agreed.
we're paying for these psyops. We're actually paying for them.
No,
Right.
they just think we're that
money's
stupid.
worth.
Like tell me that there's got to be better directors in Hollywood than this. I've seen better Steven Spielberg.
They just think America's dumb.
CSI
that moonshot work that Spielberg did, that was really good work back in the day.
That was probably Joe Biden's desk. On set. That was probably his old desk.
Yeah, those are all his Maxines he was about to get. All those so-called antennas weren't antennas; they were his Maxines that they were getting ready to give him.
He probably wore Maxines. Actually, he did, didn't he?
Oh my God!
Is that too gross? Is that too gross for nighttime?
Maxine Waters sounds like a woke version of adult diapers.
Okay, we got to clean this up now.
That's what the adult diaper is for, Maxine Waters. Drendel, you want to have a conversation we were having before the show about sort of taking control of your digital house? Do you think that's a pertinent conversation to have?
Well, I mean, considering that Congress is entertaining a bunch of parents about ChatGPT, we can probably dive into that for a few minutes. And what I would say is, to the parents listening on this call, on this podcast, if you have children at home and you are unaware of how to figure out what they're into based on their phones or computer, reach out to an IT person or find me on Telegram and I will assist you, or Gander, I can walk you down this road on how you can be more in tune with what your children are doing on the digital side of things, whether it's social media or inside any platform. So be vigilant, pay attention, talk to your children, Don't just think they're back there with the door closed playing PS4 or PS5, PS10, whatever it is now, and not knowing who they're talking to on side of their Black Ops show. Dan?
I think the other side of this is that, like Sheepdog and I always get caught on the trans. There's a trans everything, right? And this transhumanism movement that we have been assaulted with over the last 25 years, it's been a slow roll. Mike and I did a show last year about how the current environment we are living in is a combination of Brave New World in 1984. The Aldous Huxley text, the Brave New World text, it talks about a utopia where everybody willingly walks into an intention trap. And the 1984 text talks about an authoritative government that brings only truth speak. And I believe that we are living in the combination of those two environments, that we are actively giving away our intention and our energy, engaging with the digital prison that is being built for us. So opting out of that as a parent is a great leadership step to do something simple like play a board game or a physical card game with your kids without phones at the table. That if someone asks a question and it's a race to see who can ask Siri first, that's also a different version of this paradigm that we're stuck in. So the being able to stay within yourself and rely on things that you actually know or think you know, and challenging that perception that should not involve an AI. I was talking to my son yesterday, and he said that he asked ChatGPT how to fix his golf swing. What he should do with his golf clubs, because he's 6'9" and he needs a specific type of fitting. So, and I laughed at him. I was like, "You kidding me? You asked ChatGPT how to fix your golf swing? That was a Rick and Morty episode. That was the Meeseeks episode. That's impossible." So as we take the decisions that we make every day, where we give our intention willingly, is what are you doing with that time? And are you engaging with something real? Because the crux of the conversation that Durendal and I were having pre-show is that, do you really know something, or do you Google know something? Is that information that you went through the difficult process of ascertaining what you believe to be true based on information, or did you cheat and ask a computer that is known to hallucinate, and then you take that as rote? So and that's a lot of what we do here on this platform, is we're attempting to help people challenge, what it is that they believe. What are the baseline components that you're using for your situational awareness around your ascertation of information, your spiritual outlook, your high moral baseline that allows you to know truth from untruth, that allows you to question with humor rather than respond with anger. And that I believe that truly is at the bottom of the conversation Mike and I were having. It was about children and engaging with your children, but the way that you really teach your children is by example. So if you walk up to your child and say, "Put the phone down, I want to talk to you," how many times have they asked you to do that and you have not? And you've said, "Oh, no, it's work," or "I have to finish watching this," or whatever it may be. So making time for other people in the real world, IRL, in real life, is of tantamount importance, because those are the connections that are going to allow us to come together in higher frequency. Your biofield engages with your phone, just like it engages with a tree or an animal or another human. So managing your own energy is of tantamount importance. There's a graphic Sheepdog put up on Facebook, and I looked for it earlier in the show. I couldn't find it, but it was a full human chakra engagement showing the fields and the rhythms that go between your chakra points. It was a great graphic. I don't know if you can find that on your desktop, Sheep. I'm sure it's somewhere in there. But it was a fantastic graphic representation of how we can truly tune ourselves. And that's breath work, and that's voice work, and that's all intention. This is what's important. We're all caught up in the Tylenol thing. I've known Tylenol's bad for years. My father, the physician, told me that many, many years ago, that if you have to use acetaminophen, use it sparingly, and don't take it every day, because it'll kill you. And that's either way. Today, that's just a thing of today, the Tylenol thing of today. So the transhuman engagement, your ability to stand against that is about you being the sovereign you, the quantum you. We are electrical beings trapped in a physical prison realm. That's one spiritual narrative that we can head to. So I don't know. I'll get on my soapbox here and hand the mic back to Sheepdog because I'll rail about this for 24 hours straight.
Yeah, but that's important to know as far as most parents aren't aware of what goes on in those chat rooms or on that headset and that video game and how they're being targeted. And so I think that's a really important subject, especially with the way these people hunt down our children and they pretend like they're children in children apps, right? They go in there, log in as a 5-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever, 13-year-old, and it's not. So,
Yeah, and Bert heard a story today that it's as young as 3 years old that they're going after the children with this Chat GPT and integration of AI from 3 year old to 12 years old. So parents, like Gan was saying, talk to your kids, put the phone down, go speak with them, go for a walk, take them outside, try to figure out where they are and what's going on when they are playing their games or their head down into their phone of what's going on. But like Gan was saying, and we could talk about this 24 hours a day. This is just to give you a little backstory. Bert and I had 5 kids, and during that time, that's when MySpace and Facebook and all this stuff was coming up. And what I do for a living, I found a way to monitor every single solitary thing that they did on their computers as well as their phones. So spend that time, figure out what's going on, and get them away, get them out from being involved with that. Reach out to an IT person if you have any questions. Okay, I think we beat that one. Go ahead, Sheepdog. What you got next?
Yeah, the other thing you can do is play the game with your kids. I did this with my kids, but I was the one who was buying the newest console as well, as an IT guy especially. So they go play the game with your kids. If they're playing something, go to the store, buy a controller, buy them a new controller, and use their old one. That's a great tactic. And play the game with your kids. Get involved. That is the most important thing that you can do is to stay involved with your kids. If they're doing something, go do it with them. And if you pay, they'll show up more often.
Have any of you guys ever done Lego battles?
I did that when I stepped on them when the kids were small.
No, you use all the extra pieces. You put them on the table. My ex-fiance's son. We love to do this together. We would try to create something, each one of us, and then when his father came home, we would have him decide which one of the pieces was better, and we would both be, happy for the other person and whoever won. But it was a lot of fun to try to create something out of all these extra pieces that just weren't going to be used anyway.
We just called that Legos. I mean the whole build the thing with the kit that comes out like a Millennium Falcon or something. No, we just started with a huge box of pieces to see who could build something. I didn't know it was called a Lego battle. My vernacular is wider today. Thank you, Nadine.
Sure. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. You're using something that wasn't going to be used, or you go to the store and you buy a bunch of different pieces. I found that out. It's weird starting out when they're like 8 or 10 years old. It's weird to start out with a child that young or old or whatever. I don't know. It's just normal to me now. But to be able to figure out what the boy likes, and do it with him. He loves to do Nerf battles too.
Can you hand me the screen right down there? I have the next. There we go. We played this morning in the chat, but we're gonna play it again tonight. It's called "Stop the Movie." Cut. Gotta yell cut.
Stop the damn movie. All right, y'all. Everybody says the world is a stage, and all we're watching is a movie going on. And they're doing this to stop all the panicking and people from going crazy when the shit happens. I got news for you. And y'all pass this message along. Y'all put it out on your own shit. We need to flood everything with it. Stop the fucking movie. Cut. You're causing more mental damage by trying to prolong shit, if that's the case, than you would if you just ripped off that fucking Band-Aid. Because it's ridiculous. I don't feel like I'm a crazy person, but this has got me feeling like a crazy person. I'm looking for shit all the time. Everybody else, you're driving the same people mad because we don't know what the hell's going on no more. Nothing makes sense. The Charlie Kirk situation, strange as hell. Don't make sense. Hand signals. That man did not carry a gun. Check out that weapon in his pants leg that long. Did not. All right, y'all. We got to wake up. Something's going on. I don't know what it is, but they say it's a movie. We need to flood TikTok. Stop, stop, stop. Cut, cut, cut. We are tired of this shit. I'm over it. I'm over it. Just do whatever the fuck you're going to do and let us live our lives. We're tired of this shit. The social media, constantly forcing shit. You restrict us constantly on every damn thing there is out there in the world when we put out any news. Yet you let constant misinformation put out by companies, health companies, people trying to sell shit, other governments, everything all over these sites. Put it into the movie. You're causing more mental damage to the sanity of the real people out here than you would if you just ripped off the fucking Band-Aid. Take it off. Spread this shit. Make your own video. Cut.
Rip the damn Band-Aid off. We're like, just rip it off. And he's like, no, it hurts. I know, we'll do it slow, please. Ow, it's pulling the hairs. Just rip it off.
That's right.
If you got a loose tooth, you tie a string to it, tie the string to the door and slam it.
Then just come in.
Get it over with.
It actually hurts less.
Yeah, it's real quick. My cousin did that to me. It pissed me off. I wanted to punch him. He didn't even tell me 1, 2, 3. He just went bam. I was like, what? Flew right out of my mouth. I was in shock. I thought I lost my whole freaking upper
My mom told
jaw.
me to bite down on an apple. It popped right out.
I looked at him like, you asshole. But somebody's got to do it.
So that's what's cool about being a kid. Is your friends like, yo, let's do this. Let's go. Let's get the tooth out.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
They're trying to wear down the saint.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I died as a teenager a couple of times, and my dad told me to walk it off.
Yeah, rub some dirt on it. But I agree with that guy, man. Let's pull the Band-Aid off. Let's rip the gray tape off. Let's go let people heal.
Yeah.
Cut.
Let's see, I got one more here. And then I'm gonna go to another screen. So we showed that this morning. I know I like videos like that where people, just speak their minds until, you never know. A lot of people may be feeling the same way you're feeling, and they just wanted somebody to say it.
Oh, they do.
And when you say it, then you get it's
TikTok's really good on that.
you want
People
something to go
just
viral, start speaking authentic and speaking your mind. Quit holding back.
They say all sorts of stuff that you're gonna relate with somebody that day.
It's like that movie where they went out on the balcony and it says, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore."
Yeah.
Right. I thought that was going to come like a couple years ago, but it didn't. I'm like, shit, how much more do we got to go through? Like, how many more psyops? Yeah, we're getting to it because the consciousness is raising of the people, right? The right people are waking up. That's all. That's all that matters. It doesn't, that the way all glory doesn't go to the people, goes to the creator, right? Because it had to be his plan or her plan. It's both. It's even in the Bible. We can cover that here in a minute. I got the scriptures. Let me play this real quick. Hold on.
You're asking me, and I'm Somebody sent me a message the other day and she said, what do we do once we're awake? If you're asking me, and I'm saying this with love, if you're asking me what you do once you're awake, you're not awake. Awakened is you're waking up to the government corruption. It's not just government corruption. Everything you have been taught in this life, everything is a lie. And I'm not saying this to put fear into you. There's nothing to be afraid of. But you need to see through the illusion of it all. It's like putting on a pair of glasses, and once you put them on, you cannot take them off. Everything from religion, the school system, the government, the pharmaceutical industry, everything's a lie. All these Christians out here hollering about the rapture and the Antichrist and this and that. Religion has twisted Christ's message back and forth. Jesus says in Luke 17, for I do not return with observation. I return within you. And that is what's happening all across this world right now. Christ is returning within us. And we are rising, and we are speaking the truth. And we are here to flip tables. We're here to flip the system. Everything is upside down. 2 Corinthians 4:4, to the God of this world, we live in the belly of the beast. This world is the Antichrist. This is man's world. Man has twisted everything. Everything here is a lie. Understand that. And you see through the actual illusion of everything. You begin to align. Your body begins to change. It is time. That's why I scream healing so loud, because you have to let the old self die to become the new. Because eventually the train tracks, it's like two earths splitting. The train tracks to the new earth are going to go in a completely different direction from the old earth, and we will no longer be associated with those people, the ones that choose to stay there. And you might think I'm a little Looney Tune in everything that I'm saying, and that is perfect, because I don't belong in this earth. I belong in that one, and I'm ready. There are people everywhere speaking the same truths that I'm speaking, and maybe if I'm the first one that you're hearing and you think this sounds absurd, I promise you, start to dig. Start to look into everything that I just said. Your food is poison. Your water is poison. Everything they have done to us since we were born was to make sure that we stayed small and that this moment didn't happen. And in 2020, I woke up in 2017, but other people, 2020, 2021, that was a huge wake-up point. That's when it got out of control. And people started to realize, we started to purify our bodies. We started to be mindful. Matthew 6:22, if the eye be single, the whole body will be full of light. Your mind's eye, religion goes, oh, that's evil. Really? Then why did Jesus tell us? Why did Christ tell us? If your eye is single, the whole body is full of light. Purify your minds. Purify your bodies.
Very well said.
Let me do the other screen real quick. There we go. Can you put me back on there real quick? There we go. All right, this is hashtag D903. UNSPOK 3NTHE 903_2.0.
What's up, America? The system's been lying to us so long we forgot what freedom even smells like. But the cracks are starting to show and the truth is finally leaking out. And you've only got two choices. Wake up and push forward, or stay chained and get swallowed whole. Because this isn't about waiting for some savior. Because nobody's coming. It's on you. It's on me. It's on us. To stand when it's hard. To build when everything's burning down. To fight back not with their weapons, but with something they can't cage. Our will, our unity, our fire. And yeah, it's messy. Yeah, it hurts. But birth always does. This old world's dying, and a new one's screaming to be born. So burn the illusions, break the fear, grab your brothers, your sisters, your neighbors, drag them forward if you have to, because this is the age of fire. Fire doesn't apologize. So no more hesitation, no more silence, no more waiting for permission. We are the builders of the new dawn. So push forward, stand tall, stay sharp. I love y'all. 903 out.
Keep pushing. Said he's going to come back with a fire. I think last time was a flood, right?
Yeah.
All right, fire on this one.
Yes.
Pure fire too.
Internally. Or just do the fire.
Yeah, I'm going to go through some shit. In other words,
We've been going.
we're going to go through some shifts. SHIFTS.
Shifts, yes.
All right.
It's not as bad.
No,
Are you being serious right now?
quit trying to hold on to the old shit bar. Buckle up, buttercup. It's getting bumpy. But we stand tall, right? We're the co-creators. We create the heaven. We bring heaven to earth.
Yeah, so I was talking about the print on Rumble. I think they changed something. I've noticed that it's on a lot of the channels. The print's real small for some reason.
This is cheating's gonna like this one. Derek will like this one too. This will help with the scriptures. So God the Mother isn't really in the Bible, right? Have you ever heard about God the Mother?
Only in Genesis.
Right. But when you think of God, do you think of God as a male or a female? I like asking this question when I meet people on the street, and the answer I get the most is drum roll, male. There are other answers, which I will address later, but the vast majority of people I meet say male. Now, when I follow up asking them why they think like that, or where did they get that from, that God is only male, most of the people I have met say that's where they've learned it growing up, right? I think it's our language. But they do not really know why. And that's when I ask them what religion they consider themselves. I discover the source of their belief because they always say they are either Christian or Catholic, right? So it's the preconceived notions that have caused people to make mistakes. So let me share with you a riddle that illustrates this. So a father and his son are in a car accident. The father dies instantly, and the son is taken to the nearest hospital. The doctor comes in and exclaims, "I can't operate on this boy." "Why not?" the nurse asks. "Because he's my son," the doctor responds. "How is this possible?" I give you time to think. Take your time before you continue reading. The doctor is the boy's mother, right? You just assumed it was a male.
Right.
So if it took you some time to figure this riddle out, or if this is even a riddle, although the answer is so simple, it's because the established bias that exists in today's society that all doctors are males, when in reality we know that there are female doctors. But we usually associate the word doctor with a male. Just like when you read the word nurse, admit it, you thought female, right? I did. I know I did. I'm like, a nurse? That's a dude. I remember when I went through that stage. So the riddle above helps us understand the reason why most Christians think of God as a male. It is a preconceived notion based on tradition and not on the Bible. When I tell people that Bible talks about God being both father and mother, most people say, "Really?" To which I reply, "Yes, really." So God in Genesis said, "Let us, not let me," right? Let us. So had to be two or more. Let us, not let me.
Two to have a child, right?
Right. So when we read the book of Genesis, we can find that God, the Creator, spoke in plural form, not in a singular form. In Genesis 1 and 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." When we see God create mankind, God did not say, "Let me make man in my image," or "Let there be man." God clearly said, "Let us make man in our image and in our likeness." Then, why did God creators speak in plural? Theologians and scholars have come up with elaborate explanations to this question, and here are three most common ones. The us in Genesis is referring to the Trinity, or the us in Genesis is referring to God and the angels, or the us in the Trinity is the royal we. Now all these elaborate suggestions could be right if verse 27 of Genesis chapter 1 didn't exist. But because verse 27 exists, they are incorrect. Let's read verse 26 and 27 now. Genesis 1, 26 through 27. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. As we can see in the image of God, they were made male and female. And if the images that came out of God's images are male and female, this means that the original, which is God, is also male and female. Therefore, the male image of God we refer to as Father. Then we call the female image of God. The right title would be Mother. This is honoring your mother and father. God the Mother is not something new. The World Mission Society Church of God is not a feminist rally out to prove to everyone God is a female also. But God the Mother has always been in the Bible. It's just that we didn't know. Much like when everyone thought the earth was flat or thought the earth was round. It didn't make it flat, it didn't make it round. People just didn't know. In the same way, just because the majority of Christians think of God just as Father, that doesn't mean God is just as Father. Mother was always there. God the Mother in Revelation. God the Mother appears in the book of Revelation as well. She appears as the bride of the Holy Spirit. Revelations 22 and 17. The Spirit and the bride say, "Come," and let him who hears say, "Come." Whoever is thirsty, let him come, and whoever wishes, let him take the free gift of the water of life. The Spirit and the bride appear to give people the water of life. Most people here know that the Spirit refers to God the Father in accordance to the Trinity. But who is the bride? Let's take a look one chapter before in Revelations 21, 9 through 10. One of the seven angels, right? Seven lights, the seven rays of the rainbow, the seven resonant frequencies of light, which is separated. In a visual, you get the color. So one of the seven angels who had the seven bowls full of the seven last plagues came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the bride, the wife of the Lamb." And he carried me away in the spirit to a mountain great and high, and showed me the holy city, Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God. So the bride is the holy city, Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven. A good amount of Christians believe that an actual city is going to drop out of heaven, and that is how this prophecy will be fulfilled. But let's think about this for a second. The Bible says that the heavenly Jerusalem is the bride, the wife of the Lamb. The Lamb in this verse, is it talking about an actual four-legged animal? Everyone knows this is not the case. but that the lamb here refers is one of the many times it's something in the Bible is written in parables, right? So one thing to keep in mind is that the whole book of Revelation does not say that the lamb is Jesus. The only reason that we know that the lamb is Jesus is because of another verse in the Bible. We'll go back to 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. For Christ, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed. Just as Jesus is not an actual lamb, the holy city, Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven is not an actual city. And how can we come to know the heavenly Jerusalem is? We learned who the lamb is by we learned who the lamb was by referring to another verse in the Bible. In the same way, we must find a verse in the Bible that reveals who is the heavenly Jerusalem. So we go to Galatians 4:26. But the Jerusalem that is above is free, and she is our mother. Right. So when we talk about wisdom as well, in some of the books, it refers to wisdom as she that comes down, the wisdom, wise dome. So the title of mother is only given to the one who gives life. Then, if we are referring to the Jerusalem above as mother, it seems that she can give life. Also in this verse, the word above indicates that the kingdom of heaven. In John 8:23, analyzing this verse carefully, we can see that Jerusalem in heaven can give life. But since we know that in heaven only God can give life, that this must mean that the Jerusalem above is God, God our mother, the bride, the wife of the Lamb. She is our mother. So seeing the verse above, we come to understand that God, the mother, was always in the Bible, but people did not know about her. However, she is the one who, alongside the Holy Spirit, will give us the water of life, which is the way to eternal life. The World Mission Society Church of God believes in God, the Mother, on the basis of the Bible, and come to the nearest Church of God and receive the water of life, which is only given through the Spirit and the bride. Honor thy mother and father.
Right.
If you go back to the Aquarian gospel, then the father mother reference is the most common reference when referring to what we call the God the Father in our current vernacular. So that the unisex representation is what you get with Baphomet and Baal. But the two distinct personalities of mother and father, which is a 2-point perspective, is the opposite of the trans movement. And it's important that the female energy of spirituality is not the same as the stern hand of rebuke. And that is the two sides of spiritual enlightenment and engagement. That if the 7 bowls are those your chakra points, right? And the harmonization of your truth is almost impossible, in my opinion, to engage with if all you think of is the God to be feared. If we are to engage with our spiritual parentage and say that we are holy beings that have been thrust into this test of our universe, that this quantum engagement that we have, then that needs to be a multi-point perspective, and that is at the core of engaging with the female energy within Yahweh, Yeshua, Adonai. Not Abba. Abba is father, not parent. So it's a very good point, Sheepdog. The female energy is a yin and yang engagement that allows you to have harmony in your spiritual resolution, the spiritual resolution of your thought, otherwise known as prayer. Renee, I taught the Shack book in recovery centers for a couple of years, And that was one of the books that we used to use when I was helping homeless veterans get off the street, get back in touch with their spiritual baseline, and reintroduce them to Creator, as however they would come to that resolution. It was Christ the vast majority of the time. But The Shack is an excellent spiritual exercise. If you have not engaged with the book, I'd recommend the book, but they also made it into a movie and did a pretty good job. So The Shack is a great text.
Are you there, sheepdog? Mm-hmm.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. The thing with the veterans like that, the homeless veterans with PTSD, this I think spiritual side, addressing that would help them in the long run versus medications and stuff like that. So I really commend you for doing that. But that's and identifying that being an issue, uh, and a part of their healing and letting go of the whatever they went through. Could be could be what they seen or didn't see, or maybe even the vaccines that we all have to get put in, that we go through, because we're basically like test dummies in there. So it's just it's a lot that these guys have to deal with, and especially when they come home and they find out that we were lied to, and that we blew up a lot of people, innocent people, for no damn reason, because of lies in Congress and a bunch of politicians and profits over people, and et cetera, et cetera. The whole thing that bets, and that's why you have a lot of the channels, right? Podcasters that are veterans and that are speaking out, that are they know what all took place and how we got into these wars, and that stuff haunts them. They usually end up on alcohol, drugs, or something to that nature. Uh, may lose their wife or their path, but because they no longer have that purpose they once had when they were in the military. It's a different thing. They come home and it's like hitting a brick wall. It's like it's not what they thought it was going to be. The open doors and uh, get treated. It's one thing we think of on the way out, and then it's totally different when we get back into the society, right? And just going to a 9 to 5 and clocking it. It could be not fulfilling as serving in the military. Once you serve in the military, it's like it's it. You wake up every day and you have a purpose that day. Every day you feel that in the military. It's like, well, um, but so that's what we struggle with. We just need our purpose. We need something to uh, rise to, something to fight for again, and something to be a part of. But right now, they're not getting the love that they need, and I think it's like you said. I think it's a spiritual thing. We can identify that, get that, because there's different ceremonies you can do as well, different plants that you can take if you have been addicted to drugs or alcohol or whatever. If you're trying to sober up and get your life back, so that again, that's connecting back to the mother, back to the earth center, and usually retreats away from.
It's an energy, anyways.
Yeah.
Or you can't. God doesn't have a form. Neither male or female.
Right.
It's the energy.
Yeah, it's energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting back to
You can't
balance.
confine him to anything because he's not.
I
He's
s-
beyond time, space, and anything that you could put. You can't put him in a box like that.
but I'm
Or
speaking
only.
from I'm speaking from experience because that's what I had to do. I had to hit rock bottom and go through all that. So alcohol, substance abuse, stuff like that when I got home. But of course, I went to college first and all that, and that didn't work out. It felt like high school all over again. But speaking from experience and what helped me with my anxiety, depression, stuff like that was just getting down on my knees, like not on my knees, but just in, uh, just always praying inside, like always meditating or talking, uh, just going through things and then working it out within, and just knowing that you can't do it alone. And then once you actually pray and ask, and then you start receiving, and then he starts revealing himself to you or her, right? And then not in exactly that moment, but through weeks and months ahead. Like there's always someone weeks and months ahead of us. Like your future self is already there. Like you already have that. So just
So when I was
veteran.
doing a lot of street work and teaching in recovery centers, which I did for many years, there was a pep talk that I used to give, and it's short, and it would be to a guy who was about 120 or 160 days sober, and I don't mean just sober from drugs and alcohol, but sober from the streets. Because if you live in the streets long enough, your distrust for humanity gets really, really high.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to trust anybody else that's not on the street. The streets is a very, very tight community. So I would say, look, you've been going around this mountain for years now. You've been going around the same mountain. You know every foot of the path around this mountain. But the thing you have not done is look up. And if you just look up and keep going around the same mountain, you're going to recognize a lot of the stuff at your feet because your head's been down, your heart's been down, your life has been down. But if you raise your head and look up with pride, because the enemy uses shame, guilt, and fear of failure to control us. So if you just look up, you're going to find that now, as a stronger, soberer human, you have the ability to climb. And if you continue to climb, you will find that there's new mountain that you still haven't reached the peak. You know, everyone says, oh, I had to hit rock bottom. Well, if you hit rock bottom, you have to climb all the way back up to where you were. So don't do that. Let's climb higher. And then I would go through the strategies that I had for them, which involved Psalms and Proverbs and emotional intelligence and reading books and journaling and all of those things that help people redefine themselves, so that when they get, chicken sacked by something, if life hits them hard, that they have the ability to pull within themselves and know that there is an inner strength. And whether or not you want to, and that's the Bible, not Budweiser, was one of my most famous lines. So if you want to pull yourself up, then look up. Stop staring at your feet or your phone. And look for the way up the mountain that you haven't seen before, because you didn't trust yourself to make that climb. So trusting yourself to make the climb is about self-confidence and confidence in a higher power than yourself.
There ain't no way. When you're at the bottom, there ain't no way but up. So just that's for the veterans, though. Gandalf brought up the veterans, so I had to talk about it. The struggle is real. Yeah, so autism was first identified in 1911, and Tylenol was introduced in 1950. So autism, it wasn't because of Tylenol.
So don't listen to the guy with the brain worm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a slap your mama in the face.
Well, what'd they say? I mean, do the opposite.
So Tylenol came out in 1950, autism 1911. That doesn't make sense that Tylenol would be the cause of autism.
Right.
Mathematically
Right,
impossible.
exactly. And when did vaccines come out?
Oh, Maxine?
In the 1900s, right?
Yeah, about in
When it
1911.
started, yeah,
Spanish flu, they had to get ready for that.
that's right.
Remember? And because back in the day, they just put germs and stuff on blankets and handed them out. Population,
Yeah.
depopulation agenda has been going on for a minute.
But it's always, I mean, there's a lot of natural things you can take for that as well.
Yeah, I don't know what. So, what is a belief? A belief is a de facto truth. Belief is very powerful, right? We can choose to believe whatever we want at any time, often despite the evidence to the contrary. We often choose to believe in things that are not demonstrable in reality, or as if it was a demonstrable truth reality. There are things that are my truth or your truth, such as one person liking bananas, the other person not liking bananas. These are all individual truths about each person's individual preferences. I like bananas is true for me, but not for the I of you. The fact that there are bananas is a truth about something that exists in an objective reality, and to deny the fact and truth that there are bananas would make you a fool. As belief is not a de facto truth, it is not only ourselves that can accept our invent beliefs, but we can uh, propagate beliefs to others and infect them with mind viruses of beliefs that they also believe in and accept as truth. And it keeps spreading unthinkably, uncontrollably, uncritically. The problem is that people want to believe certain things to be true because of how it makes them feel. It makes them feel good. It gives them meaning and value in their lives, so they choose to believe something as a truth when it isn't a truth. This is one of the big reasons why we are confused and conflicted, especially in religions, because we keep projecting beliefs as truth. We can develop an accurate understanding of the differences between belief and truth in order to categorize the information that they receive and filter it, understand it, incorporate it into ourselves, and express it to others through an accurate uh, distinction between belief and truth. We can propagate information accurately in our expressions as something being the truth, but it can be demonstrated in this way compared to other information that we have categorized and expressed as a belief because we can't demonstrate it to be true. So that's just asking the question, what is a belief? It's something that could always changes. Well, and there's no such thing as a fact in a universe where everything's constantly in motion.
There's many possibilities, right?
Right, because what I see now changes. It's constantly changing, evolving. So once you realize that, that's about all I got, guys. Ain't got a whole lot more. Just hope everybody knows that the psyops are just tests, right? And they're just documenting all your responses, comments, emotions, and everything like that. That's what's going on. Kind of like you're in a mad scientist's lab and they're documenting your behavior, right?
Yep, you're right. It's all data collection.
Yeah, data collection. That's all I got. If anybody else has anything,
No, Gan just stepped away for about 10 minutes to go take care of some chickens and lock things down out there in the on the farm.
Well, we're
Very good. Go ahead, Nadine.
we're combating the loose steel with God, you know, what we think about God, the collective, the beings, hopefully they're beings, and the angels. So when we're putting all of that good stuff out and not falling for the nonsense, then we're really beating the hell out of them.
oh yeah, yeah, that shows the people are waking up. That's so it's really a good thing. It's kind of rough what's witnessing, but people are waking up, and you can tell, you can see it, and it's working. I don't know if it's going to be a good for whoever else, but as long as it's good for us, the people, then that's all that matters at the end of the day. As a collective, you know. Uh, but you got to have the courage to say things that others don't have the balls to say. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, you can sit here and read news articles to you all day long. would we be participating in the same brainwashing? We'd be serving the enemy. So we're up against a $1 trillion industry, right? Highly funded mainstream media. I mean, countless. Their budget is. I wouldn't even. I don't even know if they have one. They pull off anything.
Right.
I think that's a great observation. That there's a huge mounting of information that is hitting us in the face because they've got parents convincing the system has parents convincing each other or breaking up marriages over the gender identity thing. You know, when I was a kid, if someone thought they were a girl, then, you know, there was a lot of social pressure to not adopt that. You know, I'm sure that there's people that are convinced that they are something, but society was not supporting that. You know, the entire pronoun thing, we had someone down the street from us in Fort Collins that got arrested for mispronouncing someone and thrown in jail. So it's not just about it's about the verbiage. It's about the pressure of the mainstream media. It's overwhelming. So bravo for all of us who are standing against the $1 trillion enterprise. I think we should all get a participation medal for not drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak.
Right? Yeah, the medal of I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. Have a big ass Kool-Aid man logo chain with a pendant. I didn't drink the Kool-Aid.
I think that's the Kool-Aid guy bursting through a wall in Washington, D.C.
Hey, Kool-Aid.
Was that Jim Jones? They,
Yep. Got everybody drinking Kool-Aid.
crazy.
Well, Sheepdog was saying why you stepped away, Gan. Didn't know if you had any other thing that you want to cover.
Yeah, no. I mean, everything else is just theater, you know, and
I'll throw in a shameless plug here. This is my Rumble channel, the team's Rumble channel, and I've got some playlists that I've been working on. I just finished Parables the other night. I couldn't sleep Sunday night, so I sat up and made content. And these are 6 or 7 minutes long. The Old Scriptures is another one. There's a couple of other playlists down here that I think are pertinent. There's Psalms and Proverbs daily, and so there's a proverb for every day. And if you read Psalms the same way, it's 4 or 5 in some days and 2 or 3 on the others. But you can listen to these if you so would like. There's some Dead Sea Scrolls. These are all readings. There's a whole book of Enoch. We read the entire book of Enoch as a team. And there's one up here that's emotional intelligence, where I read the emotional intelligence book is one of the books that I used to teach when I was helping homeless guys off the street, trying to find it. Here it is. There's 5 videos, and I go through the whole book. So, and this was pretty much the teaching that I used to give in recovery shelters. And this is a great book. Emotional intelligence is the most powerful weapon that you can cultivate in this narrative war, without question. Your ability to be not caught in the cognitive dissonance engagement has to do with your emotional intelligence and your ability to not be emotionally hijacked by the Kirk incident or the Tylenol thing or that whatever false flag is being thrown at us. But I think Sheepdog's statement about the fact that we're all need a pat on the back here and some self-admiration society medals for fending off the massive onslaught against our psyche and our living environment. You know, there's so much pollution. Finding the true stream, the good stuff, the water of life within you, That is truly the challenge that we are faced with, and it's every day. I appreciate this team for helping me stay within that well water instead of the polluted crap that we get.
There we go.
Well, I don't think we have anything else, Sheepdog. If you want to got a closing song you want to wrap us up with, close out this another great show.
Yeah, add me to the screen here. Screen 2. Boom, boom. Got a bunch of good ones we're going to get into. Uno momento. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Also, if you need the there's the QR code for the Telegram chat in the morning. If you need to grab that, we look forward to definitely sitting around and chit-chatting with everybody. It's been a major help to some people, so even ourselves. It's not just for you; it's for us as well. Yeah, go ahead.
I sent it to you at the bottom.
Oh, I'm already almost there. Oh, you got it at the bottom? All right, here we go. This one. What?
We spoke our truths, we healed with sound, lifted each other, sacred and proud. Gifts exchanged, hearts aligned. Roar Room family, one of a kind. Red Cardinal clan, wings in the sky. Chief Bum straight A keeps the spirit high. Mama's love, our guiding flame. Sheepdog swap, where we honor our name. Roar Room rising, the vibe is alive. We are the change, we thrive and we strive. Heaven on earth, we build and we grow. Carry the roar wherever you go. Take this life, take this song. You are the tribe, you belong. Speak your truth, let it bloom. You are forever, forever. Thank you to all our guests, our tribe, our crew. To the viewers and listeners, this love is for you. Good night, everybody. Light, love, and truth. Knowledge in your pocket and rhythm in your boots.
Thank you very much.
Good night,
Sheepdog has left the building.
Way to go, Pelvis.
Thank you, everyone, for attending our festivities this evening. We certainly appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night. The crowd goes wild for Sheepdog.